While Monday Night Raw may have had a few moments of brilliance, the combination of both SmackDown and 205 Live proved to only have a couple of moments that were, maybe not handled so well, proving that once again Tuesdays are in fact better than Mondays. Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. I am Travis Colt. I'm still by myself. I mentioned it on the Indie News that the landscape's going to be changing a little bit. Kevin Honk has some things he's doing outside of the rundown, so he won't be around as often. But you still got me. Thomas Wolf isn't here tonight because he's never here past Monday. So let's talk about SmackDown, where we open up with Miz TV featuring the returning Team Hell No. Miz was up to his usual shenanigans, trying to get the two of them to fight each other. Even telling Daniel Bryan that he wants to be the one to end his career and all this stuff, and then Daniel starts firing back, and then Miz really starts getting on Kane's nerves. Kane's about to choke slam him. This ends up bringing out the Bludgeon Brothers. Bludgeons are on their way down, but before they even get to the ring, then Sanity comes out, and Sanity attacks Team Hell No from behind. Bludgeon Brothers get in and help. New Day runs out, and they start going at it. It is just complete and utter chaos, which leaves the New Day and Team Hell No down. Miz is gone. Miz isn't seeing the rest of the night at this point. So this ends up making Paige set a 10-man tag for our SmackDown main event. But we open up with a main event quality match when we have another match. This is one of those things that could have been done a little bit better. We have AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Still a great match. Before it even starts, Rusev comes out and says a few words to AJ Styles, saying that he's going to be the one to tear down the house that AJ Styles built. But AJ and Shinsuke start going at it. Things escalate. They get to the outside. Aiden English ends up getting in AJ's face. He punches Aiden English. And then as AJ is trying to do a phenomenal forearm, Rusev pulls him down, causing a disqualification. 2-on-1 beatdown. Jeff Hardy, who will be defending the United States title against Shinsuke Nakamura, comes out and saves AJ. This then has Paige come out and make a tag team match right then and there, which the heels still pull off a win after Shinsuke Nakamura is able to crotch Jeff on the top rope. He ends up getting a Machka kick. Rusev picks up the win. So Rusev and Shinsuke definitely proving their dominance over their championship opponents for this Sunday. We then had the lumberjack match between Asuka and James Ellsworth. Asuka ends up winning. It's more, I don't know. It was almost kind of how they had the whole fight between Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, where people were like trying to break things up and then they were fighting each other, which technically more often than not happens within the context of a lumberjack match. But there's a few things here and there. It wasn't the greatest, but Asuka ends up winning. Asuka then gets attacked by Carmella afterwards, gets sprayed in the eyes by James Ellsworth with this little like hairspray bottle or whatever it was. And as they're walking in the back, Paige makes we already knew that Carmella would be defending the women's title against Asuka this Sunday. But now, James Ellsworth, because this has to be a yearly thing now, James Ellsworth will be in a shark cage above the ring. So, there will probably be some shenanigans that allows Carmella to win once again. Then we had the couple months in the making now. Oh, geez, Cody. Calm down, man. We finally get Andrade versus Sin Cara. Andrade ends up picking up the win. Fantastic match. We'll talk about that more in a second. And then we had both teams do little backstage segments where Kane quotes NSYNC because he mentioned NSYNC in the Miz TV segment. Sanity cut a promo that was then ended by the Bludgeon Brothers saying, "Let the bludgeoning begin." And then we have a chaotic 10-man tag, which is a lot of fun. Team Hell New Day ends up picking up the win over the Sanity Brothers. Brian pinning Eric Young. Sanity, Kevin Hawk was probably right last week, but we'll talk about that more in a second too. But yeah, and then we had Brian and Kane were doing both trying to do yes chants, and then Brian decided he wanted to try and do fire. And everyone knows that the pyro has been gone forever, but he does it a couple times, and there was actually fire, and it shocked the shit out of me and the crowd and Kane and a little bit of Daniel Bryan. So is Kane getting his fire back? Because that'd be nice. If anyone's going to get pyro, it needs to be Kane. Just saying. And then on 205 Live, we open up with Kalisto defeating Tony Nese by disqualification after Buddy Murphy got really annoyed by Lucha House Party and their noisemakers. He ends up just beating up the whole team. Nese has to back him off, so the juggernaut of 205 Live has an issue with Lucha House Party. Very intrigued where this is going to go. Drake was in the back talking to Noam Dar, saying, welcoming him back to 205 Live, saying that last week was very impressive. TJP comes in and he's none too happy about it. Says that if I had enough time to prepare, I would have beaten Noam Dar. There's no problem. So Drake, in fact, makes next week Noam Dar versus TJP the rematch. We then had Lio Rush with Akira Tozawa at ringside, just like last week when Lio Rush was watching Tozawa's match. Tozawa watches as Lio Rush defeats Colin Delaney, then messes with Lio Rush, and this leads to almost a fight between the two. It's stopped by Drake Maverick, who then makes Lio Rush versus Akira Tozawa for next week as well. Drew Gulak cuts a little promo with Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher, saying that now that Lucha House Party is in their rear view, now they will be very focused on tonight's Cruiserweight title match. And said Cruiserweight title match, Cedric Alexander with a desperation lumbar check defeats Hideo Itami to retain the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Fantastic match. Since I'm by myself, I'm going to talk about a few different things from my like, love, and dislike. Just because, I've got some time. So as far as I'm going to say, I like the Lio Rush and Akira Tozawa kind of dueling thing. I like that Lio Rush picked someone who has been on 205 Live since the beginning, hasn't necessarily had the most stellar career, but is still a very well-known name, a very well-established star on the show, and trying to make a name for himself. And then to see Tozawa come back this week and really just poke and prod at Lio Rush and actually kind of get Lio Rush a little worked up. He comes out very calm, cool, and collected, but Tozawa kind of had him going a little bit, and so it adds a little bit to this. Can Akira break the mystique of Lio Rush? Can he break the poise of Lio Rush? It's very cool, and I'm very interested to see what these two are able to do against each other. And then on SmackDown, I really enjoyed the beginning chaos, where we got the chaos last night on Raw. I wasn't interested in it because it didn't make any sense to have the two of them face to face and then go fight down at the ring. This made sense where Team Hell No was about to give the crowd what they want and watch them kick the crap out of Miz. That's exactly what the crowd wants. The Bludgeon Brothers, who are their opponents, came out and ruined that. Sanity, who enjoys chaos, decided to create chaos. And then Sanity got their comeuppance when New Day came out and attacked them. But then you still have this great build on two different fronts, because interestingly enough, we are having a pre-show match for Extreme Rules, a 6-man tables match, Sanity versus the New Day. So we've now built for the pre-show match, which is impressive. And we've built more tension for a main card match. And we've got a really good opening and closing segment for a show. It was just very well booked. It was a lot of fun. I could have done without Sanity losing again. I'm hoping Sanity ends up picking up the win over New Day in the pre-show. If they don't win at the pre-show, then I'm going to be a little scared for Sanity. But yeah, just a really fun opening segment that led to 2 really fun promos later on, plus a great main event. As far as my love, I mean, Cedric Alexander versus Hideo Itami. Those two, 205 Live is consistently having these fantastic main events, which is exactly what it needs. Even the undercard is starting to build up because Lio Rush versus Colin was really good. Kalisto versus Tony Nese was good, and there's a lot of good story elements that are starting to build. But to cap off every show with main events like this, like last week when we had Buddy Murphy versus Mustafa Ali, and now Cedric and Hideo is finally finding he's finding his feet. He's finding his status here in 205 Live, and it's just so much fun to watch him finally get that moment that he's needed since he was in NXT. And then you put Cedric Alexander on the other side of the ring, defending a championship and helping build this brand that has suffered for a very long time. It's great to watch 2 guys just go out there and just kill it. Hideo's not the most... He's not going to be the high-flying guy, but, there's a moment when, like, Cedric is, like, just going nuts with, like, he keeps hitting Hideo and all this stuff. He's like, yeah, come on, hit me. And then he, like, jumps into the ring and gets kicked square in the chest, and then it is all Hideo from that point. So Hideo's really finding his spot. Cedric is a fantastic champion. An amazing main event for 205 Live. And I'm interested to see, does this now mean that Drew Gulak and or Kendrick and Gallagher are going to be gunning for Cedric Alexander? Is Hideo going to get another shot? What's the plan here? They got to be building towards SummerSlam, right? Because 205 Live has been kept off like the last 3 pay-per-views, I think. Maybe only 2. For sure, Money in the Bank, and they don't have anything for Extreme Rules. So hopefully they get something for SummerSlam. Because SummerSlam is going to be like 5 hours long anyway, so they need to have something. But I'm going to give my top love to Andrade Cien Almas versus Sin Cara. Sin Cara, who doesn't get a whole lot of TV time. The last time he got major TV time, he was running an angle against Baron Corbin. And me and Kevin Hawk were very adamant that he was having fantastic matches and getting fantastic matches out of Baron Corbin. Andrade Cien Almas, recently blossoming on NXT, now finally getting this match on Smackdown Live. Sin Cara, who has been hurt, comes back, and he's moving better than I've seen him move in a very long time. Like, since Lucha Dragons Fast, like, him and Andrade's timing, I don't know if it's from time they've wrestled in Mexico or maybe just what they've been doing on house shows, but it was amazing that it was just like, okay, this match that is like, okay, why is this happening? And then I'm freaking blown away by what I'm seeing in ring from Sin Cara, who doesn't get a lot of TV time. I'm hoping this feud continues. I mean, Andrade won pretty fair and square. There wasn't even a lot of there wasn't a whole lot of Zelina Vega getting involved at all. So I don't know if they could continue it or not. But regardless, Sin Cara needs to be on TV more. Andrade, I'm all for Andrade being on TV. If you watch one match from Tuesday, make it this one, because this one was surprising and it was fantastic. Now, things that I disliked. I disliked the fact that we just randomly got AJ versus Shinsuke again for absolutely no reason. Especially after seeing it so many times in the limelight as like the top match of the brand. I do appreciate the fact that it was the opening match, but again, it's not a match that should be an opening match, and it really shouldn't have been happening again. Especially just for the sake of bringing in both Jeff and Rusev to kind of offset, oh, these are 2 different things that are happening at Extreme Rules. I mean, you could have just had like a backstage segment or something, or maybe, I don't know. You probably could have done that better. I won't hark on it too bad just because it was there was 2 great matches, plus you put over the heels, the challengers for the championship, so now it makes you think whether or not the champions are going to be able to retain this Sunday, so it's good in that sense, but still very random to have all of a sudden Shinsuke versus AJ again when they are not in any way, shape, or form facing each other. I'm not a fan of the shark cage. That can just go away. Go away. We don't need that anymore. And then, I think that's it. I think that's all I really disliked. The rest of the stuff was great. Oh, and then Sanity losing again. I'm like I said, I'm really hoping they pick up the win on Sunday in the pre-show match. Even if it is just the pre-show match, it's still a tables match. It's at Extreme Rules. It's against the New Day, so it's a high-profile win regardless because it's a stipulation match against a high-profile team. So hopefully this is what Sanity has sacrificed the first couple weeks for, is this win to potentially move them forward in something big for the build towards SummerSlam, since we're coming up on that very soon. I don't like seeing Sanity, the loss to, like, the Usos and Jeff Hardy was one thing. I don't know. I can see where Kevin Hawk was last time. So now I'm starting to toe the line of whether or not I like what they're doing with Sanity. So hopefully Sanity is in line for a big push and starts getting some wins to make them a somewhat viable asset and a potential contender for championships throughout SmackDown. But with that being said, that is it for Tuesday Night Live. Thanks for watching, guys. And you know the drill to click all the links down below. We've got all of our social media links, whether it's Facebook, we have our Twitters, all that stuff down there. Subscribe to the channel. Comment down below. What was your favorite part of SmackDown? What did you like about 205 Live? Is there anything you didn't like? Give us your like, love, and dislike down below. We also want you to check out our podcast. That's the SoundCloud link where you get this review and all of our regular reviews in podcast form. And, of course, there is, in fact, Reasonable Wrestling Fans. And, yes, it is, in fact, Reasonable with a W, like wrestling, where we have the list with Kevin Hawk. We have Question of the Week with Thomas Wolfe. We have punishment videos, unboxing videos, and other videos that are loosely based around wrestling. We got some other videos coming out very soon. Let us know what types of videos you'd like to see. We have, Reasonable Wrestling Fans is more of our... We want to do this type of video, so it's going to go there. So check it out. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. And thank God it's Tuesday, because Modus is not there. Fuck Modus. It's not there. It's one day removed from Modus. Fuck Modus.